This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Psst, healthcare pros, word's out, and it's too good to keep quiet. Look, LinkedIn is revolutionizing job hunting, making it possible to search by specialty, shift preference, and salary. Endless scrolling is out. Whether it's a mental health therapist or dental hygienist, finding the perfect role is faster and easier than ever. Head to linkedin.com/healthcare and start your search today.
Welcome to our podcast, It's About Payroll. We're your hosts, Brian Escobar and Walter William Duncan III. Whether you're new to the payroll game or a seasoned veteran, we have something for you.
Man, I'm good. Just another day, another dollar, another day in the life of the payroll pro.
Day in the life in the payroll pro. Yes,
How
sir.
you doing, man? How about you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I've been noticing so much stuff, payroll pro, and like you say payroll pro, it made me think of it. The payroll profession is blowing up. You know what I mean? And I know we keep saying it, but I think I really see it out there. All different countries are making moves and bringing it to more of the forefront. Oh, Christina Hagney, we were just talking about her. She just did a TikTok. Somebody asked her, "Hey, can we really get into payroll career? Can you talk more about that?"
Nice.
Yeah, and go check it out. I think I reposted it, and it was cool. It was just like, yeah, you can. Like how I was so excited to see her talking about that. Like, just yes, payroll is a career. You can get into payroll. I was just telling you about a new system that's coming out that is showing all these new perks and all these things, and man, it's just so exciting. I'm going to that blockchain conference this week, and I'm interested to see if we can connect some dots on payroll and blockchain. Yeah. Man, it's just where we're going with it.
There's a lot of advancement when it comes to payroll, right? There's a lot of opportunity. There's room for growth, and it's a wide open lane still.
Yeah, it really is, man. It really is. And appropriately so, we're talking about building a payroll team today.
Yeah.
So that is the show today, folks. And the first question is like, do I need a payroll team? And how many? Then it's like, how many people do I need? Yeah. And if you're at that point, great question. That means you're chugging along, you're growing as a company, or maybe just changing. And we've done the research. And do you remember what was that like ratio of people to payroll professionals?
Oh, I don't know.
There's a head count.
My head. Yeah, I can kind of
Google it. Yeah, I feel like it was one payroll professional for every 1,500 to 2,000 employees, something like that. That's what you need as a payroll person to run your payroll. So if you have 2,000 employees, and at that point, you probably should have, somebody's been doing payroll for sure.
Yep.
You outsourced, right? Are you in-house? We're going to talk, that's going to be another episode. We're going to cover whether you should do in-house or outsource. So check back for that one. But this episode is just building your team, and it's okay, how many people do I need? Do I need one person? Do I need two people? So there is a ratio for that, and I'm pretty sure once we find it, we'll share it. But it's one person for every 1,500 to 2,000 employees, and that's like the rule of thumb that you should use. So let's say you got it, you found it.
Yeah. So ADP has an article out there. They say a full-time equivalent employee can handle payroll tasks for basically almost 1,500 employees. Like you.
There we go. Yeah, 1,500, and you could probably stretch them to 2,000, depending on the organization you're in. Look, most folks get stretched way beyond that. That's when the trouble lies in. That's when you having trouble and you don't know where it is, and it's because you're overwhelming your payroll person. That's probably why. And they can't keep up. They can only keep up with a certain amount of manual tasks and exceptions that they have to accommodate for in the payroll and all these things. Got to keep that in mind when you're thinking about your team and building. Or the first step is like, all right, how many people do I need?
Yeah. How many people
so
do you need? Yep.
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna pull up my notes here.
Okay.
And then once you've figured that out, do I need a team? How big do I need a team? Is clearly defining their roles and responsibilities. Because payroll often either sits with HR or accounting, there's blurred lines there because they want to take advantage of that resource. And take advantage is probably not the right word. They want to leverage that body, right? Oh, wait, can you do this as well? Can you do that? Can you do this? But that is when it's really important for the payroll professional to know where their lane is and get educated. And you shouldn't, as a payroll person, you shouldn't be entering, like setting up an employee profile and also paying on that profile.
Yeah, there needs to be segregation of duty, right?
Exactly. Now, I remember you telling me you did both at once upon a time.
That's because I reported to HR, though. And that's why I had to do both.
Right, but I would imagine there was some check and balance there. Somebody was checking your work. More so, hopefully, we're gonna but that's where you should. So if you do have one person that's doing it all, then somebody has to really be checking their work. Hey, let's go back to the perfect example of our Chicago criminal payroll mastermind over here that I'm gonna talk about pretty much for the rest of the season.
Hey, it's Libby DeLucian. If you're sick of business advice that sounds cute but doesn't actually move the needle forward, this one's for you. The Libby DeLucian podcast is where we go one layer deep. No gurus, no glitter, just straight up unfiltered talk about scaling a business, running a household, and holding on to your sanity in the middle of the chaos. If you're the bottleneck in your business or in your own life, I'll show you how to fix it. Simple, tactical, and one layer deep every time. Let's go. Visit libbyd.com and check out our podcast today.
And he's a perfect example, right? And again, unfortunately, his boss had a learning point there, a learning moment there, because they should have been checking their work, or maybe I don't know, but whatever. There should have been some oversight there to keep that person honest. Because trust but verify.
Yeah.
So same deal, right? If you're doing it all in an organization, then you need some good checks and balances. As a business owner, if you're going to ask this person to do your payroll, but wait, can you also do this and that? And again, if you're a small company, that payroll person does usually wear a lot of hats. They're the benefits person. They're the HR person. They're this, they're that. They do a bunch of different things, but that just means you got to be a little bit more. You have to hold them accountable. You got to checks and balances, and you got to have more scrutiny over their position, not the person, the position.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that plays into the next thing, which is strong leadership. So when you build this team, you want to make sure you get a strong leader. Yeah. So that could be could be in multiple facets. So that could be the head of HR, depending on how your payroll and your company is structured. That could be the head of HR that oversees the payroll manager or payroll director, however you have it structured. Or it could be the CFO that oversees the payroll department. You want to have that strong leadership in place to manage those employees, ensuring that everybody is working towards the same goals.
Yes.
To make sure that there's a good understanding of the payroll processes and be able to communicate effectively to the different team members and other departments, right?
Yep. There goes that word communicate again.
Yep.
We just talked about communicate on the last show. Communication is big key just in everything we do, and especially in especially in payroll. You do want folks to be able to communicate clearly. They don't have to speak well. They just have, and I say that hey, it could be a stepping stone, right? It could be just, you need somebody to be able to write a good email. Speaking well can come later.
Yeah.
And then what's the next one? Adequate training.
Yes.
Huge for payroll.
Yes. Yeah.
One of the things that I ask for, or let me rephrase. Even as a payroll professional, one of the things I always ask for when I was interviewing, in the interview, I say, do you have a budget for education or training? Okay, because payroll people, it's a constant thing. You constantly have to be learning some stuff.
Continued education.
And it's so true in this profession. Some professions it may not be so true, right? But this one is, man. Like it's right. There's just all kind of compliances and regulations and rules and laws and best practices and compliance and new rules and laws and and it's all of that, and it's on repetition. It's on repeat. It's all year long. It's every year.
Yep.
So a good training program or resources for training and keep yourself engaged. And this is what we tell folks as well. Invest in yourself. If your company's not doing it for you, shame on them.
Yeah.
But invest in yourself and move on, because you want to get with a company that believes in their people, that allows them the opportunity to train, right, and learn more things, even if they're not providing it directly. Like, oh, we're holding a no, they're not going to always hold a payroll class for you, but it's up to you to go and get the dollars. Say, hey, boss, if I go take this class, can I submit this for reimbursed expenses? Can I be reimbursed for this? You know what I mean? A good boss is going to be like, no, let me pay that for you. Don't even worry. You know what I mean?
So as the business owner and as the training should, even though you may not oversee or supervise all the trainings that go on in your company, you want to make sure that that's something that you emphasize, though, in a general or more broad sense. Like, hey, we're always teaching our people. We're always progressing. As the company grows, we're making sure that our people grow as well.
Yeah.
So again, it's as a business owner, you want to make sure that your payroll professional, your payroll team is getting that adequate training, even if it's something that you're just having minimal oversight over.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, regular communication, regular team meetings.
Yep.
I think this is a big, and you might say, gosh, you just said communication. Yeah, because it's a big call out in this day and age when hybrid workforce and remote workforce has become reality.
Yep.
And you have to stay in touch with your remote team members. It's going to continue to evolve, right? Because now folks are creating all these tools and all these best practices and all these things that you have to follow. But at the end of the day, just stay in contact with your team.
Yep.
You know what I mean? However that works for you, whatever works for you and your team, that's what you got to do. Because you don't want to talk to your boss and then be like, oh, well, when's the last time you talked to whoever on your team? Oh, I don't know. What? Crazy. You want to be like, oh, no, I just got off the phone with them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Something like that. Be methodical and do things deliberate. That's what I meant to say. Be deliberate about communicating with your team and doing it on a regular basis.
So how could I know it's a job of the manager, right? Make sure that's done. But since we're talking about payroll from the business owner, how would they enforce regular communication? Just because it's been a struggle, right?
Yeah.
Even in our careers, different organizations we've been at, communication has always been one of the main issues.
As an owner, I think you got to build a culture for it, because I do like some of these posts that are going out now that are like, companies are putting rules on how many meetings that you can have in a day. What prompts a meeting? They're like outlining criteria to say, hey, if it doesn't meet this criteria, just get on the phone.
Yeah.
Just have a conversation. You don't need to have a meeting. Send an email. If it doesn't meet this criteria, how many jokes have we seen? Oh, just got off a meeting that could have been an email.
Yep.
And it's so true. So, and it's more true now because of the Zoomification of everything. And we're on Zooms all day, and not for nothing, man. That is draining. You don't think about it ahead of time. I'll be on a Zoom all day. And we are on Zooms all day. It's so draining.
Yeah.
So anyway, I really appreciate these companies now that are putting guidelines around how many meetings you should have, what defines a meeting, when you can have meetings. Hey, stay engaged, but don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Because it's like I tell my kids, too much of anything will kill you.
Yeah.
What else?
The fifth one is use of technology. What I think this one is saying that you need to evolve, right? As businesses and times change, we're going to see more AI, ChatGPT, more. We're going to see more robust payroll systems come out. We're going to see even the ones that are out there now. They're going to be changing. They're going to be evolving with the times. So this is saying that as you go along as a business owner, you want to make sure that you take advantage of what options there are out there from a technological standpoint.
Yep.
So You want to be sure, because there's some things that can help you streamline processes, improve your accuracy, that make sure that you're staying compliant, and in that way you can stay up to date on things too.
Yeah.
From a certain standpoint.
Yeah. Or just go use Valid Payroll and call it a day.
Yeah. Valid Payroll.
But yes, no, that is absolutely true. Utilizing technology, right? Keep asking whys, and you want to get to root cause, right?
Yep.
Those are the buzzwords. So if you do that, if you're constantly doing that, you will always find the solutions you need.
Absolutely.
So build a culture of always pushing the limit, pushing on your processes. Do we have the best process? Do we have it? Are we in the best shape we can be?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the next one is flexibility. The payroll team should be able to adapt to changes in the organization's operations and processes, as well as changes in laws and regulations.
Yeah.
So true, man.
Yeah. So like, this speaks volumes to me, right? Even though it's not it doesn't seem like it's one of the bigger things, but as a business owner, you want to make sure that you allow your team enough runway to make these changes, to be able to be flexible, right? So you don't hamper or stunt or whatever. You don't come in between what the mission is and what the goal is, right? You have to be able to understand and trust the people that you've put into place for your payroll team, and trust that they're doing the right thing by the company.
Yeah.
So you need to allow them to have that flexibility, because Brian was saying earlier, laws are going to change, taxes are going to change, going to be increases in this and SUI and all this other stuff, inflation, the recessions, all this other stuff that's going to can impact payroll and people's livelihood. So you need to, as a business owner, you need to be able to make sure that that's something that you grace your payroll with.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought about it purely from the payroll person's perspective. Thank you for covering that, because this season is about the employer, the business owner. But I forget, right? Because I'm like, I just want to serve my payroll people.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Carvana lets you buy your next car on your terms. Explore a massive inventory online, filter for what matters, and find your perfect match. Then choose delivery to your home or pick it up at one of Carvana's iconic car vending machines. Every car also comes with a 7-day money-back guarantee, so you can make sure it's the right fit. Buy your car on Carvana. Delivery or pickup fees may apply. Limitations and exclusions may apply. See our 7-day return policy at Carvana.com.
Carvana.
And just to give you that nugget as a payroll person listening to this, the flexibility for you should be the opposite, right? You have to flex to what the company needs.
Absolutely.
And maybe they heard you. Maybe you made your case and they're still like, hey, I can't do it right now. But as long as you made your case, you raised the red flag, you went on record with what you think should happen. Yep. Okay, I've lost many opportunities. That's why Walt is laughing. I've lost many opportunities because I didn't go on record for what I believed was right. Okay, so as a payroll professional, there's a way to politely, professionally go on record for what you believe is right.
Yeah,
and that's it. And guess what? The flexibility comes from you as a professional. Is if they don't adapt, I'm going to do this right now. Just say, hey, no problem. I've made my case. And then you keep moving on. You keep doing how you're being asked. You got a job to do. So, yes, the flexibility goes both ways. This season is about the business owner. So as an owner, listen to Walt. And my little nugget was for the payroll person.
Great nugget, man.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Oh, man. The net collaboration.
Oh,
huge.
Yes. So how would we put this in a sense from a business owner? How would this one really fall under this for the team?
You know why? Because owner has to understand that payroll has to work with everybody.
Yeah.
Because think about it. If the owner was like, well, you do payroll. Why are you talking to HR? Why are you talking to finance? Why are you talking to operations? What do you need to be talking to them about?
Yep.
If they don't understand that a cross-functional team is necessary, right?
Yeah.
Then you don't have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's where the collaboration has to happen, and the business owner has to understand that it has to happen.
Great. Yeah.
I think that's where it is. And last but certainly not least, should have been the first one, really.
Could have been.
It could have been emphasis on accuracy and compliance.
Yes, that's great, man. Like you as a business owner want to make sure that your payroll team is focused on being accurate, focused on being compliant, and the people that you hire should do that.
Yeah.
They should hold themselves accountable. The manager should hold the team members accountable to do what's right at the end of the day, right? To make sure that errors are minimized, to ensure that all regulations and timelines are met. So that's what it is. You in general should hold your people accountable to make sure that the business is not going to be hit with fees and late filings.
Yes.
It's not even necessarily your payroll team only. It could be the payroll software that you're using. You need to hold them accountable.
Could be vendors, third parties.
Vendors. Yeah. All those things, you can have an emphasis on holding these people accountable.
I'll give you a great example from IRS, and this should really sum it up for business owners. IRS will tell you, we don't care who's doing your payroll. You're still responsible.
Yep. Yes.
Okay. So you can try to use this, my payroll provider messed me up. That's nice, because now you owe double.
Yeah.
Because now you lost that money there, but you still owe me money now. They don't care. You know what I mean? It's like that Steve Harvey thing we talked about. His accountant stole money from him. The IRS doesn't care.
Nope.
You still owe me money.
Yep. That's why Wesley Snipes went to jail.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. These guys, and they don't learn their lesson. But anyway, so if think of business owners, emphasis on accuracy and compliance.
Yeah.
And if you're an arrogant owner, they better be. No. You better make sure they are.
You have to,
because it's not their business, my friend. You, the business owner, are gonna hang for that. Yes. Okay, unless you can prove that they were maliciously doing something, like my boy over in Chicago.
Yep.
Then it's on you. It's on the owner. As an owner, you know what I mean. Like and there's plenty of those leaders that go around passing the buck.
Yeah,
my team, right?
Yeah. It's on leadership, right? I'll say not necessarily just the owner. It's on leadership, because there's some cases that it's not necessarily the owner or the CEO signing the tax documents. It might be the COO. It might be the CFO.
Yep.
It's one of the officers of the company.
Yep. Even if you outsource it, if you outsource it 100%, you gotta unless you're outsourcing it to a company that's gonna take liability. Which is trending. I see some companies now taking liability for something in key areas, which is very interesting. Yeah. But unless you have that set up, you got to know. And then that goes back to, what are you picking? Your vendors, you're setting up your system, you're setting up your payroll team. Well, you're going to do that. And this whole deal ties back into pillar number 1.
Yeah.
Picking, training, right? 5 pillars of payroll. Yes. Go check pillar number 1, which happens to be the most listened to show, right? Is this still the number 1 show?
I'll tell you right now.
So surprisingly enough, it's a good show. I guess it's a great topic, but it's our number 1 listened to show. Pillar number 1, talent. And this whole deal just refers back to this. So if you have any more questions, it's still on number 1. Look at that.
Still number 1. Yeah.
Still number 1. Pillar number 1, talent. So
talent and
training. And this ties right back into it. How do I structure my payroll team? Do I need a payroll team? So if you do, then go ahead and hit up the 5 pillars and listen to those 5 pillars, because that will help you structure your payroll team in a more in-depth manner. You'll get to learn some things about what payroll should look like, so that you can hold your people accountable.
Yeah.
But
at the end of the day, that's what it basically boils down to, right? It's the people.
It's the people
that you surround yourself with, that you put in your business, that you put in places of or positions of influence or impact.
Yep.
And it's about the people. So something that resonated with me that I got from you is that I'll hire a person based on their attitude, not necessarily their aptitude, but because you can train, right?
Yep. Yeah. Attitude is, and look, that's something I've learned recently, because I always thought you just focus on the skill set and then go from there, right? Look, I'll be honest with you. That's how I hired you. I hired you on skills. right? 'Cause you answered my questions well, right? You answered those phone questions well. That's how you got in the door. I didn't know that you were also going to be a good person. It wasn't until later in my career that I learned that flip is, oh, wait a minute. This person is not cool. Even they can be really smart. They can have the real skill. And it's right work like after I hired you, going through everything that we went through together in our career is how I learned that thing, man. And it's just so to Walt's point, man, and hire for attitude, teach the skill.
Yeah.
Now that's not to say don't go ahead and hire anybody from any discipline. No, not necessarily. But if you find a junior payroll person that has a great attitude versus a senior one that has a horrible attitude, come on now. You got to hire that junior and teach them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'd rather spend more time like that. And I've had, and those are some of the best folks that I work with is they're hungry. They want to learn.
Absolutely.
They're eager to learn. They can do more. They want more. I love working with those folks, man, because I can train. It takes me a little bit longer, but I don't mind.
Yeah. And then sometimes and we might be going a little in the weeds here, a little left field, but something that I noticed is that you may get someone who's more senior, but they may come from the position of not being as teachable.
Yes.
Not because they're more set in their ways.
Yes.
And it might be a little harder to get through to them and mold them in the way that the company needs them to be.
Yep.
So that's some of the difficulty that I've seen when it comes to hiring people who are more established.
This is William Tincup, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Indeed FutureWorks. Ryan and I attended the conference last year, and we created a limited series for Indeed where we talked to their customers. Great stories around TA and how they use Indeed to the max. So check it out. It's just Indeed FutureWorks 2024. You could search for it wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks.
In the payroll field.
Yep.
And it might not be a good fit for them. They may need to go be a lead or a manager somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of coming to be a payroll specialist at your current company. So it's all about picking the right people, right?
Yes. And now I clicked what you're saying. Yeah. Be careful because if you put job posts out there, and as a business owner, this is probably, you know what? Great call out, man. It makes me think of something here. As a business owner, if you've never overseen payroll, if you've never gotten to this point, maybe your accountant had done it for you at that point, I would get a recruiter. I would get a payroll recruiter or a finance or HR recruiter that has experience hiring for payroll people and let them vet for you, because you may mess around and pick the wrong person. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You want to, and look, they could talk a good game in the interview and you can answer a few questions and boom, hey, I hired you, and you turn out to not know a thing.
Yep, I've been finessed in my career.
We've been finessed. Both of us. We've been finessed. It happens. Yeah. So you gotta that's why we developed the 5 questions or 5 or 10 questions. Not so much the questions, but the step of doing the phone interview first. This was before phone interviews were popular. Now it's like you could get a job without even leaving your house. Absolutely. You know what I mean? But we developed this screening interview. I even did it when I had recruiters, because when I learned with some of my recruiters, I realized that they don't know a thing about payroll.
Yep.
So then it's like, wait a minute, I have to vet them again. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is a big task, man, and it's something to really consider. And maybe that's why pillar number 1 is so popular, is talent. And you should definitely be mindful, right? And just be deliberate about how you hire this person. Listen to the show and listen to many shows and do some research, because it is a key role in your organization, and it will be important for you as you grow to pick the person that's going to grow with you. Because I've been part of organizations where I've walked into something and my boss was like, nah, I'm not, I'm good. I'm about to retire. I'm passing the baton to you. You know what I mean? I'm good. And that's what happens. And that it is. So you want to hire somebody that wants to grow.
Yeah, you're right.
So, yeah. Anywho, I think that's it, folks.
Yeah.
Building a payroll team. Go ahead and listen to the 5 pillars. What else we got? Oh, that we are going to do a show about whether you need to outsource or whether you can do it in-house, right?
Yep.
Meaning, do you go hire a Valor payroll, or do you build it from within and just get a system and you work the system?
Yeah. And also know that it may change over the years.
Yes, and that model. Yes, gosh, thank you, bro.
Yeah.
And that's where that flexibility comes in, because
Absolutely.
you have to be mindful that it could change. You could hire somebody now because you're good and everything's purring, but boom, what if you just had this growth and now it blew up and you're like, wait a minute. Like we always say, what got you there may not get you there.
Absolutely.
So keep that in mind, folks. I hope this helped the business owners out there. Listen, payroll folks, you guys, this helps because we just look at it from a different angle, right? You'll be a better employee by understanding what your bosses and what your owners need and are looking for.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Anything else, Walt?
No, that's it.
All right, cool. On a side note, if anybody knows how to be like a journalist, because I want to go out and interview this guy that did the crime in Chicago. How do I do this? So thanks, folks. We love you.
All right, take care, everybody. Thank you for listening to today's episode of our podcast. We appreciate you. We're grateful for you. And we hope that the information that we'll share with you will impact you as a payroll professional. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going.